what region you're watching it from, who you're watching in particular. But don't do it yet. You need to sit down, take a deep breath, pour yourself a stiff drink, I know I have, and then watch this next race. So, the grid for the B final in Senior X30. Pole position, Nathan Chafer. Nathan on the LH Kart, who was had a bad day on Thursday, made up for it, Friday, made up for it a little bit yesterday, but still finds himself in the B final. Second on the grid, Ben Davis for Dan Holland Racing. Then it's Jack Mabin after a couple of retirements. Richard Morris, the first of 3 Morris siblings in this race. Then it's Matthew Graham, a former front runner in the British Junior TKM Championship. Jensen Brown, Tom Croydon, a former Welsh champion. Then it's Jonathan Brown from Ireland. Tom Sharp Reynolds, Matthew Hurst on the 5th row. Matthew is a top 10 seed in the British Senior Rotax Championship. Scott Jackson and Anna Morris on row 6. Jensen Harvey and Henry Ayres on row 7. Tyler Sullivan and Ollie Morant on row 8. Harry Torpy and Sam McDonald, who was another front runner in last year's Junior X30 British Championship, they're on row 9. Kira Scott, Tom Geeney, Piers Pryor, Harry Gent, James Ireland, then Ireland's Conor McPollin from Hong Kong, Moon Yuen from Venezuela at stroke Dubai, stroke Newport, Stephanie De Visconti, Charlie Bingham, Eleanor Morris, Rafael Diaz, and the rest. Didn't even have time to go through the list, it was so long. And a spin going under the bridge, and 3 karts together. We'll get number checks on that. The front runners all made it through safely. So we've got 30 drivers. Back 29 because Jake Robinson, the privateer driver of kart number 65 from Doncaster, did not go out into the first hairpin. It is Nathan Chafer leading. The remaining runners all get through cleanly. We're going to have a look to see who was caught up in that incident. Well, the number 127, so we've just seen Alejandro Diaz fail to make the Junior X30 final. Well, his brother Rafael Diaz was one of the 3 drivers that was delayed there. We've also got damage to the number 23 kart of Jensen Harvey, the Evolution Racing driver, and I noticed there a badly damaged number 153 kart of Kira Scott for the Thule Motorsport team. And let's have a look as they come across the line. Number 99 it was, the Money for Your Motors entry of Eleanor Morris. Well, Eleanor Morris is getting a mechanical flag for a rear bumper issue. The number 16 of Harry Gent is retiring. We also had a problem, I think, for Kira Scott. So 2 of the... There's Eleanor. There was Kira, Stephanie, 3 of the 3 young ladies in the race. 2 of them were caught up in that very high-speed accident, and Kira Scott has retired, and Eleanor Morris is about to get a mechanical flag, but hopefully they're okay. So Anna Morris is in 19th place. So of the 4 young ladies, 2 of them were taken out in that incident. We've got Jack Mabin now at the head of the pack, so we'll concentrate on the front. Mabin, Matthew Graham, Chafer, the pole man down with it, Richard Morris. So the 3 Morris siblings, the 2 sisters, Eleanor and Anna. Well, Eleanor is out, Anna is down in 20th, but Richard Morris on the number 81 Alonso kart, he is upholding family honours at the moment. Ben Davis, number 11. Is now into 4th place. Morris down to 5th, and then it's Tom Sharp Reynolds, the Kart-Tune Motorsport driver. He is the final man inside the top 6. Jensen Brown is next. Tom Croydon, the driver of the number 184 Coles Racing kart. If we see him on your screen, he is in 8th place. He is the man that drove the wrong way down a dual carriageway during his driving tests earlier this week, causing the police of South Wales no small cause for concern. International racing driver Tom Croydon, he's driving the right way through the first corner because he's just picked up a place. Mirror signal manoeuvre for Croydon. Matthew Graham set to new fastest lap, 58.18. He is chasing down Jack Mabin. Chasing him down, he's probably just trying to escape from the chasing pack. Chafer is third, the only driver here. There's a battle going on, and that's Richard Morris in the number 81 car, I think. Oh, and a problem for Scott Jackson. Oh, Scott Jackson, the Team Abago driver. What a day of contrasting fortunes for Scott Jackson. Thursday, he couldn't turn a wheel without something breaking on that thing. Yesterday, he was competing with the best in the world in the top 10 in some of the heats, like he belonged there, but it wasn't enough to get him into the main event, and he's now out of the B final. Harrison Wedgbury, we've seen retire as well. We just saw Harrison on screen. There is the 15 Coles kart. Number 15 Coles racing kart of Jensen Brown. Jensen Brown is the man on the bubble. Behind him, Tom Croydon. So, at the moment, the top 6 qualifiers with 5 3/4 minutes to go. Mabin leading there, followed by Graham on the Fullerton car and Chafer in the 141. Then a gap back to Ben Davis in the number 11 for Dan Holland Racing. Davis in that blue and yellow machine. Behind Davis is Tom Sharp Reynolds in the number 53. 6th in last year's Grand Prix was Tom Sharp Reynolds. He's got to get into it first this year. And then it's Tom Croydon. Oh, there's a spin going down the short chute. There is the number 69 kart, and that is Piers Pryor, the Enzo Motorsport driver on the comp kart, having a bit of an issue with himself. But it is now number 184, Tom Croydon in 6th position. He's got 2 teammates right behind him, the 3 Coles cars. Well, Adrian Coles is thinking, one of them's going to go through, hopefully. Well, maybe more if they work together. Croydon signalling, less of that the better, Tom. What happened in your driving test? You want to stay well clear of all that nonsense. He was signalling to his teammates, Sullivan in the number 62 and the 15 of Jensen Brown, to come on, let's work together. The problem they've got is that behind them, Sam McDonnell in the number 155 BKC entry is gaining on them. Now, McDonnell was a junior last year, one of the fastest in the country, which means that he's good, which means that he was in this event not because he's been pootling around minding his own business all weekend, because he's had issues and penalties. Actually qualified 31st fastest and he's had 2 top 16 finishes in the heats. But it's Croydon on the cusp. The driver, Wales, kart number 184 from Swansea. Don't hold it against him in this occasion though. Mabin leads, the Piers Sexton Racing number 17. Jack Mabin and Matthew Graham. Mabin qualified 4th fastest. That is how quickly fortunes can change at Kartmasters. Mabin in a world-class field, and I mean that. We're going to see the main event later on. The senior X30 race here field is a world-class field. Mabin qualified 3rd. Matthew Graham qualified in the top 30 as well, and Mabin finished 2nd in the opening race of the day. But then things went wrong and he finds himself in this event, but he's leading. Matthew Graham following him, and Graham, an experienced pilot himself, knows not to battle him. Nathan Chafer, if Nathan Chafer makes it through, he qualified. Let's have a look. Where did Chafer qualify? He didn't. He missed qualifying and then spent Friday trying to not be last. Then he found something with that LH kart, the Lewis Hamilton branded kart, and he's been going forward ever since. Sharp Reynolds has now passed Ben Davis for 4th. And it is change again for the final transfer spot. It's now Tyler Sullivan going through the screen there, who is in 6th, and it's 7th place now is Sam McDonnell. So McDonnell in 7th, Croydon has slipped back to 8th, Brown is 9th, and also in that battle is Matthew Hurst. Matthew Hurst in the number 96 car. He finished 4th, just off the podium in last year's Grand Prix. Doesn't look like he's going to make the Grand Prix this year. There's the battle with Hurst down in 10th. 2 minutes to go, and Hurst on that KR Sport, that pink and purple machine, he can see 6th place. There's the number 29 of Henry Ayres going through. He's 12th, and Ollie Moreland, the Jack Dex Racing machine, is just in front of him. And Hurst can see the final transfer spot. The problem is there's about 5 karts in between him and a place in the Grand Prix. They're the top 5 coming up the short chute. Mabin, with 90 seconds to go, has just got to keep the nose cone on it, keep the wheels on the black stuff and off the green stuff, and keep his fingers and toes crossed that his mechanic has bolted everything on properly. Well, Jonathan Brown has retired the number 27 MLC Motorsport kart. Mabin, Graham and Chafer. Then a big gap, 2.5 seconds back to Sharp, Reynolds, Davis. And Ben Davis, number 11, he finished 16th in this event a year ago. Jonathan Brown is out of this one. He was 12th in the Grand Prix last year. He's not going to make it this time. Charlie Bingham, the Haas driver, he's made it up to 13th. He finished 7th in the Grand Prix last year. The level of competition has been so intense and so good in Senior X30 that we've got 4 or 5 drivers that finished in the top 12 in last year's Grand Prix that aren't even going to compete. Or if they are going to compete, it's because they squeezed in through the B final. McDonnell in the 155. You can see him in the black and orange race suit going into the Fullerton S's now. He is still in 7th. Oh, Matthew Hurst is out. Hurst will not race in the Grand Prix this year. Here's the battle coming through the Mike Wilson complex now. The clock is ticking down. 184. Tom Croydon on your screen is in 8th place. He has got to catch. He's got to make about 10 kart lengths to catch the number 155 kart of Sam McDonnell, who is in 7th. There goes Sharp, Reynolds and Davis through your screen. The leaders are coming down the hill, and still Tyler Sullivan in kart number 62 holds on to the final transfer spot, but Sam McDonnell has just passed him with a new fastest lap of the race. It's now Sam McDonnell in the final transfer spot, 6th place, coming up the short chute. There he is at the bottom of your screens. He's passed the number 62 kart of Tyler Sullivan. And Tom Croydon is right there, followed by Jensen Brown. So the 3 Coles karts, the worst 3 places to finish, 7th, 8th and 9th to the B final. And haven't got much time to do anything about it, because the last lap board, Dan Ashton on the start gantry, shows Jack Mabin the last lap board. There's the battle for 6th going into turn number 1 now. McDonnell has about 3 kart lengths. Matthew Graham is just sitting behind Jack Mabin. They come off the turn. Very much doubt we're going to see Matthew Graham make a move. He knows that 1st or 2nd doesn't matter. He's in, and that's what counts. So, Chafer in 3rd, Sharp, Reynolds in 4th, Davis in 5th. McDonnell is looking over his shoulder, coming up into the 2nd hairpin. And he's got Sullivan right there. Then there's a gap about 5 kart lengths to Croydon. Then Jensen Brown holding off Ollie Morant and Henry Ayres. But Jack Mabin breathing a huge sigh of relief, because after qualifying 2nd, the thought of missing the Grand Prix would have been too much to bear. Mabin qualifies and wins. Graham 2nd, Chafer 3rd, Sharp, Reynolds 4th, 5th is Davis, and McDonnell, Sam McDonnell, makes it in the final transfer spot by 3/10 of a second from Tyler Sullivan. Sullivan in number 62 is the first man out. Of course, if there's a problem for the top 6, anyone in the top 6, either penalties, illegalities, underweight, anything like that, then Sullivan is the first man who is going to step into the breach. Tom Croydon finishes in 8th place, so Croydon misses out in the number 184 kart, and good luck with retaking your test. Remember, on a dual carriageway, you go the same way as everybody else, Tom. 9th is Jensen Brown. 10th for Ollie Morant. 11th for Henry Ayres. And all these drivers, sadly, their kart masters for 2017 is over. Charlie Haas. Charlie Haas. No, that's something else. Charlie Bingham on the Haas finishes 12th. Conor McPollin, the Irishman, the CRG factory team, 13th. Anna Morris. Well, of the 3 racing Morrises, the Money for Your Motors backed family, Anna has family honours in 14th place. She's also the highest finished young lady in that race. Sadly, the Morris family, well, not